Aw, sugar bricks.
Like, just fucking swear.
Hello and welcome to Saving People Queering Things, the supernatural podcast where we're all Gordon Walker apologists and Bella deserved better.
Amen.
Yeah.
Today we're recapping season 3 and handing out awards to characters from this season, much like Bella and Gordon Walker.
I'm Abigail. My pronouns are they, them. And my question for my co-hosts today is, if you had to pick a episode of season 3 to remove entirely from the season, which episode would you remove?
Oh, I'm going to have to go Galaxy Brain to decide this.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, you remove every part of the episode. You don't get to keep any scenes. Even if there's a good scene, you don't get to keep it. You remove this entirely. It's like it never existed.
Like it never happened.
Pretty mean, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to remove episode 7, Fresh Blood. We're just going to act like it never happened. And Gordon's still alive out there somewhere hunting.
And who are you?
I'm Noah. I am so excited that we're making it to the end of season 3 already. And it's crazy. But I would take episode 7 out just because of I just don't want everything that happened in it to happen. So if I just take it out, then it's fine.
Then Gordon's alive.
Gordon's alive. Gordon's fine. It's all good.
Honestly, a valid take.
So I'm Elayna. Pronouns are she or they. And I'm kind of surprised by the one that I would remove. It was not the first one that I thought of when I looked at the list of all the episodes. But I'm going to go with episode 5, Bedtime Stories.
Ooh.
Only because it doesn't do anything. Like you can remove that episode and nothing changes. It's all of the other episodes have at least one scene where I'm like, this is crucial to the arc of the season somehow. But yeah, I think I would have to go with Bedtime Stories, although I was really close to saying episode 15. Because I don't like that episode, but it's important.
That's fair. I was also thinking about episode 5 for the exact same reasons. I think that's the easiest one to remove. I think the most trying to think of what's the most galaxy brain removal. The most galaxy brain removal is removing something like Kids Are All Right. Because you lose Lisa and Ben, which
but I would remove it otherwise.
I don't want to remove. Let me be very clear about this. I do not want that episode removed. I do think it's one of the ones that would have the most impact if you removed it. That and Mystery Spot. Mystery Spot would also be a very interesting removal.
Oh my god, yeah.
You could actually
remove.
You can remove Mystery Spot actually pretty easily. You don't get to see Sam being unhinged, but it doesn't.
You wouldn't lose much time.
Yeah. But I would never in a million years remove Mystery Spot.
No.
It's the perfect episode.
I also feel like Long Distance Call could probably be removed.
Yeah, it adds more fire to the John Winchester is a terrible parent flames, but
actually,
that,
for that reason,
I don't really need to add more fuel to that because we keep those fires pretty well lit.
Yeah, we keep that shit stoked around.
We find space for that.
Oh yeah.
So now it is time for our final recap of season 3. Here's what you missed on the road so far. Because it's the end of the season, we're doing a special kind of recap.
So this is the season according to. Each one of us is going to pick a character from season 3 and give a 1 to 2 sentence summary of their story arc through the season.
How are we going to decide who does who?
I think, does anyone have anyone they feel really strongly about doing?
Yes.
Noah, do you want to kick us off?
Fantastic. I'm going to go with Bella. This season from Bella's perspective. She meets up with these guys. She's going to steal a little bit, flirt a little bit, sneak away out of her little deal, and it'll all work out in the end. Oh, but it doesn't. And they don't even give her a death scene.
I hate that. I mean, not that I wanted to see the kind of death scene we saw with Dean with Bella, because I didn't, but we don't even get 100% clarification. Yeah, she doesn't get that. Sam and Dean don't know for sure. We don't get any ending.
You know what? I'm going to choose to believe that some last minute magic occurred And Bella is fine. And she's just out
Yeah.
there still rolling naked in money in her sheets.
Yeah. She
Living
just
her
at this
best
point
life.
knows better than to interact with the Winchesters at all because they're fucking
She learned
trouble.
her fucking lesson.
Uh-huh.
She's like, you know what? Nothing that I can benefit from with them is worth the pain in the ass
that
always comes.
This was her sign. She just fucked out of the whole life. She said, you know what? Cut my losses. I'm going to retire to Canada, North Canada.
I was going to say Boca, but that works too.
That works too. Either or. She probably has a home at both.
Oh yeah. She can manage it.
She's definitely got a castle somewhere in the Scottish Highlands that she goes to vacation at.
Bella's living her best life post season 3.
Yeah. This is what I will now choose to believe. You don't want to show me a death scene? Fine. She's not dead.
Elayna, what about you? Did you have a character you wanted to view the season from?
I think I have a thing. We'll see how it goes.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to go with Dean for mine. Big surprise. So I think season 3 from Dean's perspective would basically just be, I'm going to spend the entire next year masking all of my pain with humor until I snap and have to face a very dark reality that I am not happy with. And basically, I'm having some regrets about some of my decisions. And I'm glad I saved my brother, but I don't want to die. I think that's Dean's whole thing.
That's pretty much his whole arc this season.
Yep.
Let's run from my feelings until they catch up to me.
Yeah. Very valid approach, Mr. Winchester. But also get some therapy, sweetie. How about you, Abigail?
Okay, so I'm going to go with Sam. So Sam's powers may appear to be gone, but the fact that Dean is going to die leads to a more and more unhinged set of choices for the younger Winchester, involving demons, witches, and dangerous spells.
Ooh.
See, both of you had ones that were so articulate. Mine was just like, eh.
Mine used the word Lil like 4 times.
You know what? We got there. You got a little bit of a recap of the season according to these characters, and we're going to move on.
Perfect.
I love that.
Love that.
So there has been some epic highs and some really low lows in this season. We have laughed, we have cried, we have bemoaned the writing choices.
John Bellion has a whole song about it.
we have had many feelings this season, and so we're going to talk about our highs and lows. Let's start with do you want to start with our lows this season?
Yeah, let's get those out of the way. I wasn't thrilled with Dean Winchester dying, I'm going to be honest. Not my favorite thing that I've seen happen on this show, but it's a great scene.
It's a great season finale. It is a low point.
Not a big fan of Gordon Walker and how he was treated. If you haven't noticed, love Gordon, Sterling K. Brown, 10 out of 10 performance, but he was mistreated for sure. Low point was definitely him and how they treated his character on the way out. I also wish they gave some more credence to Henriksen.
Yes.
So a low point of the season is how they treat characters of color in general.
Yes.
Yeah, Hendrickson was going to be my low as well. I think that he's done such a disservice as such an interesting character that we had just gotten to a point where he was going to become extra interesting because now he knows about the supernatural world, and then they immediately kill him off. And it's him and Gordon are really like the worst points of this season.
Highway robbery.
Also, a low point just for like things that are not there. Like, where did Ellen and Joe go? Where did Ellen and Joe go? I miss them.
Where
I
they
want
been?
them back.
We had another strong female character enter this season with Bela, and I would have loved to have seen Ellen, Joe, and Bela interact.
Oh, that would have been such a good episode.
Queen shit right there. 10 out of 10.
And Ruby?
Oh my God.
You know who would have seen right through Bella's ploys?
All of them. Every single one.
The Winchesters are stupid.
Yes.
Bobby never meets Bela, does he? Well, with the boys. He's met her at some point.
Yeah.
She like tricks him with the whole Flagstaff thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Also, if I may, I would like us to additionally pour one out for our boy, Mr. Alan J. Corbett. That was a low for me.
Of course.
That's sweet baby.
Yeah,
Did not deserve that.
It's possibly my favorite episode of the season, but I am very sad that we don't get to see more of Corbett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Significantly.
Let's move to highs. What are our favorite stuff from this season?
Bela.
Yeah, she's pretty damn good.
Ghost facers.
We face the ghost when the others will not.
Genuinely my high of the season. Also, the Ghostfacers effect as a whole concept, I think, is one of the smartest things they've done so far in this show.
Yes.
That and the mystery spot episode, like those episodes are both such like meta sort of episodes, and I love that this season is starting to play with that.
Yeah, they really dove deep into the meta for like what feels like, because I mean they kind of touched on it a little bit in other seasons, but this is the season where they're like, are we just gonna go ham? And they do, and it's great.
They do, and they really lean into it.
My high of this season is actually kind of like a slow burn one, but I really love how much closer Sam and Dean get because of this like threat of losing each other. I feel like they just have these really good like moments together, like especially I think it's at the end of Fresh Blood when they're fixing the car and he like decides to show Sam how to fix the car. Like, rip my heart out, eat it for breakfast. That's what happens every time I watch that episode.
Some wholesome moments came out of it.
Beautiful.
I think it's really cool in this season, how they're developing their relationship in the wake of like, obviously Sam is super upset that Dean made this decision, and he makes that really clear, and they fight quite a bit in this season, but you also get them grappling with, well, what's done is done, and all we have is this time that we have now.
And the Christmas episode, absolute high. The end of the Christmas episode anyway.
The flashbacks of the Christmas episode and the end of the Christmas episode.
Yeah. The Samulet.
Yeah.
We get the backstory for the Samulet, which is this is a weird thing to have, but the Samulet is my favorite prop in the entirety of the show ever.
Ooh,
nice.
Ever?
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I wear it.
Mine's the car. But,
I don't have it today, but
is the car a prop, Noah, though, or is the car a character?
Character, an actor.
Well, okay, I'm going to take this small moment to make my dissertation for why the Samulet is even more important than the car.
Whoa.
Because even though the car is like their home and they share that together, the car was still from John. The Samulet was something that was a gift from Bobby, who never did anything wrong in his life.
Okay, you're right. You win because Bobby's involved.
And because Sam chose to give it to Dean. It's like it's one of the most significant moments of like Sam acknowledging how much Dean sacrifices for him and that he deserves something for that. And then the fact that like Dean proceeds to wear that necklace every fucking day for the next 20 years or whatever is just, I think it's the best symbol from the show. And I'm really mad that I'm making this whole dissertation while I'm not wearing my necklace, because I usually wear it every day, but it is literally over on my bedside table.
I was gonna like halfway through your little speech there, I was like, I have a rebuttal, but I don't fully. I think you are absolutely right that the Samulet is the most important symbol in the show of Sam and Dean's relationship. I think I have a disagreement with the car is about John thing, because it's
well, no, it's definitely, I mean,
Dean has rebuilt that shit so many times.
and things that we're gonna find out later on in the series is gonna, like, we can't say yet for Noah's sake, but yes. I do agree with you that the Samulet as a like symbol of
and when I said that, I did not in any way mean to discount the car. I cosplayed as the car. I love
Elayna hates the Impala.
I don't.
You heard it here first.
That quote out of context.
Fake news. It's not true. It's just that, like, if you compare, in my heart, if you compare the two, like it has that tie to John, but it doesn't, I don't think it stopped symbolizing John the minute the show started. But just, I have a really soft spot for the Samulet for that reason. So,
you know what? No arguments here.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
You know what time it is now, though? Now we get to go to award time. We get to do our award show. So this is how it's going to work. We have a whole list of different categories, and we will go through the categories one by one. Each of us will suggest our nomination. If any of those characters or any of those nominations line up 2 out of 3, that character wins. The third person gets a chance to rebut, but I mean,
you got to be convincing.
Say rebut is without. Okay.
But we are mature adults here.
Mature adults. Remember a few episodes ago when the theme was duty? I cut so many giggles. It's fine.
Hopeless.
But so we'll do a little debate. We'll figure out who wins. We'll get to the bottom of it.
And we want to hear what you think. So if you're listening and you agree or disagree, come and find us on Twitter and tell us that you agree or disagree. And who you would
want your
present
notes
as a defense, you know.
You know how it goes. We'll look at it, we'll read it, we'll respond, and I won't care.
I will care. I can promise you.
I very care.
I will care. Probably too much. Come and talk to us. I will come for my faves.
But let us know. First category, we've got best one-off character, which is a character this season that appears in one episode this season. They can appear in later or earlier episodes, but one episode this season.
Mm-hmm.
Noah, when I saw yours, I snorted a little bit.
I thought this one was going to be, I mean, this is hard, but also like a lot of the characters in this season are more than one episode. So the one I am nominating for this is Alan J. Corbett because I love him.
Our sweet angel.
What a wholesome character. And I mean, you couldn't pick a bad character.
Yeah.
True. There's a lot of good contenders for this, honestly.
I also, however, am Team Corbett because, as I said about Bobby, he's never done anything wrong in his life. And I just want him to have nice things.
Honestly, he deserves them. I nominated Richie because Richie was a lovely character who just appeared for one little episode and had a real bisexual connection with Dean. That was
oh my god,
lovely
really
to see on the screen.
You know what? I hadn't even thought of Richie, so I might have to actually like change my vote.
Are you defecting?
I'm gonna defect because I'm gonna come back to Corbett. Believe me, I'm gonna come back to Corbett. But like
we
Richie,
do come back to him. Richie does deserve some props, yeah.
And I literally forget he exists until I watch that episode, and then he's just got the vibes.
He's got the best vibes.
He's the most interesting hunter we've met.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the most unique hunter we've met.
Richie?
I can get on board with that.
Richie.
We did it. Got our first character.
So our next one is best female character. And this one is actually a resounding unanimous vote. Would one of you like to say who we all voted for this one?
I voted for Bela because Bela had the best screen time of any female character in this season, in my opinion. Ruby had a lot of great moments. Lilith came in there at the end. There were a few one-off characters that were really strong, but over the whole season, Bela's there and she killed it.
Bela absolutely deserves this. And she's honestly one of the most visible, well-developed female characters we've had in the whole show. Like, she gets more screen time than Ellen and Joe have gotten. Like, she is probably the most developed female character we've had so far in 3 seasons. And
they disrespect her with that ending.
They do.
I'll never not be mad about this.
No, you won't. Welcome to the club of being bitter for the rest of your life about things that didn't happen.
Female characters that got shafted in.
So stupid.
This show.
So dumb. They had Lauren Cohan.
Yeah. Bela is the clear winner, but even more so is Lauren Cohan because she got to go on to be on The Walking Dead and had an awesome career. So
she won. Going. She wins here.
Yeah,
so.
She really won.
She came in, stole the show, and left us all wanting more.
So she could be on a show, which would allow her to what? Roll on sheets naked and money.
You know what? You know what?
What she deserves.
And now she's about to run her own show.
Is she?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Maggie and Negan are having their own Walking Dead spinoff. It's gonna be
nice. That's awesome.
I don't know how I feel about Bela and John Winchester having their own zombie show, but what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Okay, so next award is going to go to the funniest character. What are our nominations?
Nominations are all over the place this season. I've thrown out there Ruby because I feel like she had a lot of one-liners that were pretty snippy, pretty witty, always made you do a little chuckle, if nothing else.
That's
true.
They
pop up pretty often.
That's true. My nomination is for the Trickster. I know we get only one episode with him, but the comedic timing of some of those death scenes is very funny.
Yeah.
That episode is very funny. So
my personal favorite is, these tacos taste funny to you? My pick for this one was 2 characters grouped together as a unit because they just have to be. It was Harry and Ed, our fearless Ghostfacer leaders. They are so funny. And like the whole thing with the duffel bag, and it's like, no, the salt, you idiot. Like, I think that's one of the funniest moments of the whole season, and it's really good.
That is one of the best moments of the whole season. It's so funny.
I love how divided we are on this one.
I do too, but I also also like came into this one being like unsure of who I was going to go for. So this is going to make me seem wishy-washy because it's the second time I've done this already in this awards show. But I also think Harry and Ed are probably the funniest. So I
was going to give it to them too. So yeah,
cool.
That's okay.
Oh, good.
Harry
Oh,
and
I'm
Ed.
so glad. They deserve it.
Ruby's the snarkiest character, but they're the funniest.
Yes.
Yeah. And I hope that they work out their sexual tension because
They got
there's a lot going on simmering under the surface there that could be sorted with a couples therapist.
Yeah, Harry and Ed, go to couples therapy, please.
Next up, we've got scariest character / monster. Nominations, please.
Again, really split. But I think what is some of the most scary like moments are the moments of the Hellhounds. Like I think as the monster, they're maybe not actually the most of a threat in this season, but they are like super scary.
Ever looming.
Yeah. And because you can't see them unless you're actively being chased by them, the whole like scritching of the door and the moments right before they attack is, I find, like as a viewer, and that way they play those out specifically in the finale is really scary. That's my pitch for the Hellhounds.
Okay.
I initially had Lilith down for this because I love a good terrifying child who's like, I'm just a happy little kid, except for when I eat your throat. And it's just that scares the heck out of me. But I will admit you made a very good case for the Hellhounds. And I love the kind, like the villains that you can't see. Like there's something that makes that scarier to me. And so I feel like if that ends up being a popular vote, I may.
Okay.
But Lilith is creepy as fuck and it needed to be acknowledged.
Lilith is creepy as hell.
Do not enjoy.
And she also looms over the whole season. We don't even know it's her until like a good chunk of the way in, but we know that like whoever holds Dean's deal.
Yeah, she's the threat of the season, even though she doesn't show up until like the end of it.
She's the most powerful monster for sure.
Well, see, now I think the scariest monster could be the Trickster because he's got such raw power and uses it in such a way it almost feels petty, like he's teaching Sam a lesson. He's not necessarily evil. I'm not saying he's a monster, but he's definitely got some intent that is concerning and some power levels to back it up.
Yeah, he's gotten out of their clutches twice now. They cannot catch this guy.
No, it took Sam 6 months to track him back down again.
He literally created like a pocket dimension that he dropped universe. Sam into.
That's true. And he might actually, I said like 2 seconds ago that Lilith is the most powerful, but I actually think I'm wrong about that. I think you're right. I think it's the Trickster. I think he's more powerful from everything we've seen of him.
Because he did it like in a snap, like it was nothing.
Yeah.
See, the Trickster actually invented the multiverse of madness.
That's what I was
So, and they did it in the 2000s.
Elayna,
I'd be willing to go with the Trickster.
Yeah,
the Trickster?
Elayna,
okay.
Trickster gets it. Okay, that's fair. I'll concede that one. Your argument was a really interesting one.
He's just unpredictable. The Hellhounds, you have some tips and tricks.
They are under control for sure.
Yeah.
They only show up if you've made a deal.
Yeah. So you can avoid Hellhounds if you just don't ever make a deal.
That's
Trickster,
true.
You could just bump into him one day and he doesn't like the look of you and you're out.
Yeah. He's gonna give you your just desserts.
Yeah. Which is fair.
Our next category is going to be Best Older Character, which is a character that is 45 and older. And this is another one. I don't know why I keep getting the unanimous categories to introduce, but would y'all like to share our unanimous vote?
This is a category that we invented to give an award to Bobby because we felt bad we couldn't give him awards elsewhere because he was always falling second place to someone.
and he's lost both dimes.
Yet again, the award designed for Bobby is going to go not to Bobby, but to Rufus Turner.
Rufus.
Yay.
The one episode Rufus Turner is in, he's just like a delight.
He is on screen for all of like 3.5 to 4 minutes. And there's a really fun phrase in film talk, and it's chewing the scenery. And it's just used for those actors that are just so enigmatic. They just yank you in and you love them. And I feel like Rufus Turner is one of those characters.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And he just is such an interesting archetype within the supernatural universe too, because he's the first time we've seen a hunter, like someone who used to be a hunter and is gotten out, at least out of the most dangerous parts of the life.
Gotten out, hand quotes.
And he's so interesting for it. Like, he's clearly still connected to hunting, but he's also not actively hunting. Super, super interesting. So well played by this actor. Such interesting dynamics with Dean. A+.
He's a king.
Absolutely.
We love it.
Moving right along from a character we loved to this next award, which is going to be the most unlikable character in this season.
I had 2 for this one, but I'm going to go with just the first one I had listed. I went with the Kerrigans, which are the creepy Christmas pagan gods who are all about their peanut brittle and, saying fudge when they swear. Like, there's just something
so
about
annoying. It's so annoying.
Aw, sugar bricks.
Yeah, like the things that they say.
Just fucking swear.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, they do allow us the opportunity to have Dean Winchester say, if you fudge and touch me, I'll fudge and kill you, which is great. But nah, unlikable as fuck.
Fair. I went with creepy Katie / the changeling when impersonating Katie.
That child was fucking terrifying.
Just creepy and unsettling.
Too many creepy kids on this season.
Yeah,
they really leaned into the horror roots of young girls specifically being the big bads. Interesting.
Yeah, they did that with bedtime stories too.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them in this season alone.
Real original.
Yeah. I mean, it is a horror trope for a reason. Yeah. It's familiar. We know we see creepy child and we know something's up. I am gonna go with the crocata. I think it's just an unlikable sort of monster. I found it, like, as a viewer, kind of flimsy as a monster design, as a character design. I didn't care, and I don't have to care about the monsters, but I want to be interested in their backstory, and like, it has to make sense that they're doing what they're doing. And this one, it just like, it didn't work on very many levels. As much as I loved the like John callbacks, that's the only interesting part of it. And I think that monster is pretty unlikable. Absolutely. But I feel like fairly neutral on this category.
I'll give it to the Kerrigans. I'll throw my vote.
Yeah, that sounds valid. They're the ones where I like, if I met you, you would annoy the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
10 out of 10 would throat punch.
Next up, we've got character with the most opportunity to change.
I want to remind us that last season we gave this to Dean. Just as a reminder. That's who we gave it to last season. Yeah, which I thought was really interesting when we come into this season.
Because this season, anyone want to throw out a nomination?
I think it's Sam. I think he's right on the edge of losing all of his shit all season.
Yeah. What's interesting is the category title here, because it's character with the most opportunity to change. But I feel like Sam, he was my pick as well, also is kind of forced into a change. Like, he didn't sign up for this, but he has to deal with the consequences. And I just think that he's going to change forever because of the events of this season.
Yeah. And he came into this season having just undergone the, death and resurrection arc.
Yeah. So he's already going through plenty of his own shit.
He just pulled a Jesus.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He was just like, here I am, guys. I'm back.
So what's up?
You guys don't want to read my rendition of the Bible.
JC and the posse.
This is so sacrilegious and I'm enjoying it so much.
Oh, wait till we get to 401. I have so many things to say on religion and religious symbolism in 401. I'm very excited about it. No, I haven't watched it yet, but I have
so much more sacrilegious.
I apologize in advance to our listeners for how insufferable I shall become about that topic in season 4.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to deconstruct. We're going to deconstruct some ideas about faith and religion and free will in season 4. It's going to be a good time. Every day? Yes, we do.
It's like the thing from Pinky and the Brain, the same thing we do every day. Try to deconstruct a TV show about faith and free will.
So moving along to the character that we would most like to see back. So this one is one where we do tend to give it to more than one character because it's personal. Who would you most like to see come back in a future episode?
I want more Harry and Ed at all times. I enjoy them, and I want more Ghostfacers.
Just want them to be showing up on hunts.
Yeah.
Just fucking with the Winchesters.
That would be so great. 10
want
out
more
of 10.
of them.
Oh my God. Yes.
I like both of your picks a lot, though.
My pick? My pick is Ben Braden. I want to see more of Dean interacting with his son. I want to see more of them figuring out, what their relationship should be, what it could be. Obviously, Dean is dead now, so that changes things. But I want to see, I want to see Sam and Ben interact. I want to see more Ben.
That would be so cute. Sam and Ben would be such a cute little duo.
Right?
Needs more Ben.
Uncle Sam. Oh, season 4. Pitch for season 4 is just Sam and Ben trying to get Dean back. That's my pitch for season 4.
Yes. That would go so hard. I'd be so there for that.
I want that arc. I want it now.
My nomination character I'd most like to see back would be Gordon Walker, Bella Talbot. Because Richie's right up there too, character that had a lot of potential. Will never come back.
Hey, you never know. You never say never in Supernatural.
Never say never. It'd be cool to see Bella come back as a witch or as a demon. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
She's in the same predicament that Dean is.
It's true. There's some precedent based on what we know of what happens to humans and the fact that demons used to be human. So Gordon,
he got decapitated. There's not a great option for him to come back. Not great.
No. And we don't even know where,
I imagine they burned it.
Yeah, his body's gone.
Yeah.
He also was like a vampire.
Vampira.
When he died. So that's interesting. Anyway.
Tragic. I'll throw my vote Ben's way because I like the Uncle Sam dynamic.
I also love Ben very dearly.
We'll see if we get any of this in the future. I hope that some of your wishes come true, Noah.
Oh, sweet Ben.
Me too.
Well, speaking of Noah's wishes, this next category is one-off character most likely to come back. And we're going to throw this to Noah because Abigail and I know too much.
We know who comes back and who doesn't. Noah, who do you think is most likely to return?
Most likely to come back has got to be Rufus this season because he's clearly set up as a little safe house in a new little area that they've unlocked. Can't wait for them to make more use of that.
If this were a video game, they unlocked that part of the map.
Exactly, and he's their little guide. I'm there for that. Yeah, most likely. I'm not banking on seeing Bella again now. Hell of a way to segue into our most tragic character of the season.
This is hard because there are a lot of really tragic characters in this season, as there always is. But who is most raw? Who is most unjustifiably, treated?
Okay. I mean, it looks like it comes down to the two characters I've been complaining about all episode. Most tragic is either going to be Bella or Gordon, in my opinion.
Do you have a pitch for which one is more tragic?
I would say Gordon, just because Bella had her own thoughts and opinions and options up until the last hours, or when she called Dean right before midnight. That was when she truly snapped and regretted some stuff. And as far as we can see, this is all we get from her. So she's tragically treated by the writers and this timing of the script and all that as well. But Gordon is just completely robbed of everything that made him Gordon.
Yeah, his humanity is taken from him, and that is especially as a hunter. He spent his adult life trying to stop monsters, and then he becomes a monster.
Trying to do the right thing and trying to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, may I present a counter?
Of course.
Because I hear all of the things you're saying and agree. But the one point on which I slightly disagree is the fact that Gordon, what happens to him is terrible and should not have happened. But even before he became a vampire, he was not operating with a good moral compass.
I 100% agree.
His whole mission to kill Sam without ever hearing him out, and the way that he treated vampires before becoming one, I think it's his character, as shitty as it was, it felt I think the writers were trying to treat it as this kind of comeuppance because of how terrible he was to them. Whereas with Bella's character, while she does the guys dirty many times over, she also the whole reason that she's even in this is because of the past that she has.
That's true. Her past is really, really tragic.
Yeah. And so
She makes her deal because of that.
Yeah, and it's not something like, and she made the deal when she was a kid, and when you're a kid you don't know what you're doing, like not enough to know that, like, if you have like some magical spirit that comes to you as a kid and is like, I can, save you from your abusive family, of course you would want to say yes to that person without understanding the implications of your choices. And so everything after that, Bella is just trying to survive, whereas like Gordon is actively trying to hurt the wrong people. And that's why I'm on the fence about that. Like, I do think that Gordon deserved way fucking better, but just in this particular category of like most tragic, Gordon made his bed and Bella did too, I guess. But I think that from at least the backstory that we have about those characters, like, and that's the shitty thing, is that we didn't get enough of that backstory from Gordon.
Didn't his sister get killed by vampires, and that's why he hates them so much?
His sister got turned into a vampire and he killed her.
Yeah. So like,
which is tragic because he felt he had no other choice. It is tragic. It's interesting because Gordon's like ending is so tragic, but also
it's tragic because he had so much potential, not because he was already a great character. He had potential to be a great character. They just ruined it.
Yeah, and because the writing for Gordon specifically in his last episode is racist and terrible.
Fucking Sterling K. Brown deserved way goddamn better than what they gave.
But Bella, I think, might be more tragic in terms of like an overall story arc.
Fair. That's fair.
So that's my case.
That's fine.
They were both fucking tragic.
Bella Gordon.
It's not an award you want to win, this one. So they can share it, maybe.
I would be down for this being a tie between Bella and Gordon.
Our next award is going to go to the character with the most interesting arc. This is not like talking their arc throughout multiple seasons. It's just talking about their arc in this specific season.
I had to go with Henriksen for this one. Our boy Victor.
Yes, that was my vote too. My vote's for Victor as well.
Could have had it all with him.
The reveal to him. That's one of my favorite scenes in this season is the scene where he finds out that Sam and Dean are not the bad guys.
He does so well.
It's such a good scene.
I wanted more with him. I wanted to see where that arc was going to lead him, but the bringing of him on this arc from antagonist to like ally.
Beautiful.
I was going to say, as you were saying that, it makes me realize that like Gordon and Henriksen kind of have an opposing arc. Because Gordon, you start out thinking he's an ally, he ends up being a villain. And Henriksen, you think he's going to be a villain and he ends up being an ally. And they both get racistly killed off in the season, which is terrible.
Almost like the show is telling you that it doesn't even matter whether or not.
It doesn't matter what you do, we're still terrible.
You're still screwed if you get involved with the Like if you're still screwed if you get involved with the Winchesters.
Yeah.
You get involved with hunting, you're still...
They have the boys have a blast radius to them and the body count is getting higher by the minute.
Well, the monsters are getting harder. The villains, the antagonists are getting more strong.
Yeah, there's this really good series on YouTube by this guy. I think his channel is called Hello Future Me, and he talks about world building and characters and different kinds of tropes and such. And he has a really good video series about like power escalation in storytelling. And I feel like Supernatural, he doesn't talk about it in that episode, but I feel like it's a really good example of like each season raising the stakes. Like the monsters get scarier, the things that they're fighting get bigger. Like it's really good with doing that, I think, on this show.
Even through 15 seasons?
It does plateau at certain points, but then it does, I think, pick back up. And
they have seasons that do this better and seasons that do this worse, for sure.
And I think this is a season that does it from seasons 2 to 3. I think the power escalation makes a lot of sense and it's really well done. There are other seasons where it's not handled as well.
Okay.
That's just a fun tidbit I thought I'd share.
Cool recommendation too. I'm excited to go back and watch some of those video essays. I love me a good
he does
video
a lot
essay.
of them with like Lord of the Rings and the Avatar series.
Yeah, I'm seeing tons of Avatar ones as I'm scrolling.
Yeah, and you will get lost on that channel very easily. And as a writer, it's really helpful. I've learned way too many things from that channel. He's really good.
Cool.
So anyway, this is not sponsored by Hello Future Me, but you should check him out anyway. So our next category is going to be saddest death. Oh, I threw Dean in for this one because I don't think I've ever watched that scene without crying. And I've seen that episode more times than I can count.
It's interesting, like watching it now that I like, you know what's coming, you know what's happening next. Which I won't spoil the like details of that if you're listening and you haven't watched past season 3 yet. But it's funny because it's still a really sad death to watch, but I don't feel as I remember the first time I watched it being like a sucker punch because you really think all season that they're going to get out of it at the last minute. You really, really do. And then they don't.
Yeah.
And you watch Sam watching it happen. And that hit me this time, watching Sam watching it happen.
Yeah.
Real sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Supernatural does a lot of deaths, but this, for me, this is one of the saddest scenes overall. Just really hits.
That's fair. I'm going to nominate Bella because she deserves it.
Yes,
because her death was really sad and I felt robbed. But I'm going to vote Dean.
Fair.
And also because we established at the beginning of the episode that Bella's not actually dead. She is living her life in Boca / Canada / wherever else she's got a really fancy house.
Southeast Asia somewhere.
Yeah. She's got a villa in Thailand. Like I can see that for her.
So our next award is one of our favorite awards to give out, and it is the best queer character. I love this. I love giving out this award. I want to give this award to multiple characters every season.
You just cheered so loud that your audio like cut because it was like
okay, cool.
It was great. It was wonderful.
Such
it was the queer energy that this category deserves.
Good.
And I loved it.
Good. I think this season we really only had the one canonically.
We have one explicitly stated. Richie is right there. Richie's like right on the verge. Dean.
And so is Victor.
Victor.
Yeah.
And then Dean is always, bisexual.
Dean is
icon.
always at the fucking center of everything.
But
they're all into Dean.
Gotta give the crown.
But Corbett only has eyes for Ed.
But Corbett killed it. He was such a great character this season. In his one little episode.
He's so good. And he's I loved this. I loved the arc of his arc being all, like last season we gave this award to Lily, and Lily's arc is also centered around her queerness, but her queerness is just tragic.
Yeah.
And in this one, yes, Corbett's queerness is still tragic, but there's also this element of it also saves them.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. I still think that obviously the presentation of a queer character as immediately killed, in the presence of the kill your gays, even if you're saving the world, is still killing your gays.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that at least we got to know Corbett in a way we never got to know Lily.
Yeah, that is true.
Corbett got to have, even though, he did, I don't know if he fully was able to appreciate it, he got the confession from the person that he cared about.
Yeah.
And was in his own way, able to use that to save everybody. And yeah, but it's unfortunate that both of the characters that have won this category so far have been killed off in the same episode where they're introduced
within minutes of finding out.
Yeah. R.I.P. Alan J. Corbett.
Tragic, but still a winner in our book.
Yep. Gay love can pierce through the veil of death.
Save the day.
I can love that quote. It's so
best
good.
Line ever.
So good. Well, then now we can move into our best hunter of the season award. A lot of nominations out there for this one.
I can't decide because I try to think about this one super objectively, who is shown to be. Some of these other categories are a little more opinion based. I'm who is shown to be the most skilled at hunting? Who gets it right the most of the time? Who has the least collateral damage? I don't know who it is this season.
I think this season presents us with a very clear answer in Mystery Spot with Sam. When he's left on his own without Dean, Dean's dead, and he has to keep going and he has to find his way back to the trickster. He figures things out without Bobby's help. Some of it with Bobby's help, but he goes past what Bobby can do.
Okay.
A little, and that's what I got from that little snippet. It was a 5-minute section, but
yeah, he's able to hunt the trickster down, which that's a really impressive feat.
yeah, nobody else has been able to do that we know of so far. Bobby was like, I can't help you, like can't do anything. I got nothing. But Gordon was a phenomenal hunter this season. He was butchered and was in prison for half of his appearances.
But we also see Gordon as like he's really effective at the killing part of hunting, but less at the like judgment part of hunting.
Yeah.
She gets a lot stronger.
He doesn't have good judgment.
Yeah.
Dean is too reckless this season to be the best hunter.
Yeah.
Dean is too like, I don't care. I might go into this situation and die.
Oops.
Yeah, he's not making good choices this season.
Your argument's strong.
Yeah, I was originally gonna say Bobby, but that's a really solid argument that you've made. And yeah, you gotta give it to Sam.
Give it to our boy. Sam, I love Sam. I love Sam, and you know what? Let's give it to him.
Yeah.
But as a solid runner-up, we can do our boy Bobby. Second place.
Yeah.
Solid support. He's such a winner.
I mean, that's Bobby. That's a highlight of this season as well that I didn't mention earlier. But like, we get to see a lot of Bobby this whole season. He's pretty consistently there in a lot of episodes, and it's really nice.
He's great.
You know who else is probably a solid best hunter nomination is Ruby. Ruby could be up there.
Oh yeah.
That is an unconventional but very good nomination.
In most of the situations that they're thrown into, she has a solution that'll work. They just have to do some sort of sacrifice to get it to happen,
Yeah, just because they don't like her solutions doesn't mean they're not.
She doesn't have them.
She's very competent, and I want to give her props for that.
Yeah. She ends up being right more times than we'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. That's maybe a secondary runner-up.
Third place.
So we are now at our last category.
Final award.
This is the MVP of this season.
Ooh.
I'd like to, if I may, read my joke nomination for this one.
No, it's a real nomination.
You think so? Oh, okay. My nomination I jotted down for the MVP of this season was the writers' strike. Not the writers, the writers' strike itself for making this season be shorter, because I think it was better when they had less time to tell the story.
Wait, you think it's better having less time to tell the story?
Well,
yes. In the case of Supernatural, yes.
This season was not going to end, like Dean was not going to die if the writer's strike hadn't happened.
Really?
Yeah, they were going to get out of it. They had a way of they were going to get out of it, but they ran out of time because of the writer's strike.
Now, see, I would have loved to have 2 more episodes, 3 more episodes.
No.
Get a little bit more Gordon.
Because
get some
here's the
closure on
thing.
Bella.
Every other season of Supernatural where you have like 20 to 23 episodes, there ends up being several episodes that are pure filler.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and
we only found one when we went through our like, what would you remove? We only found one episode that was like truly removable.
Yeah. So I think my thing is, I think that there's a sweet spot. Like I get bummed out when a show is only 8 episodes. I'm like, that's a little too short for me.
No,
I'd like a little more, but 22,
I think we got to go back to those days. I need more filler episodes. I want more seeing my favorite characters just living their lives, doing their normal shit. If you could show me Oscar Isaac just going about his daily life, doing some more, I don't want to see no more Moon Knight. Just give me some more Steven.
So actually a really good example of when a show could be longer, just so I could see someone like derping around.
This whole 6 episode season thing is really putting me off. I'm not a fan, but 16 rushed. I think was a solid number, and I think that the writer's strike deserves its props for making this season better.
Any other unconventional MVPs for this season?
Bobby's spine for carrying the whole team. Ooh.
Bobby's chiropractor. For getting him through all this.
I think it's got to be Dean. I mean,
I think at the end of the day, yeah.
It's his deal that it all comes down to. It's his decision that he sticks to, regardless of what Sam wants.
And regardless of like Ruby offering, we find out it's not really a real offer, but like Ruby offers. Ruby's like, I can get you out of it.
Yeah.
And Dean's like, that cost is too high. Like, I don't like the strings that are probably attached there.
Yeah.
Holds fast to maintain the saving of Sam that happened at the end of season 2.
And his little speech to Sam right before it all happens, just
hits hard.
I'm fine. It's fine. We're
Hits
fine.
home.
It's still, up there in devastating season finales.
It's in my top 3 for sure.
Yeah. And it's setting us up for like a really fascinating next season,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
Oh, the starting point for this next season is at a completely different spot than any other season.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
yeah.
Because as it stands, there's only one living Winchester at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Ooh,
We've gone from
damn.
3 down to 1 from
Damn.
season 1. We're gonna be releasing a little season 4 preview in a few days before season 4 officially launches. And so you'll get to hear, if you're listening, you'll get to hear a bunch of Noah's thoughts and predictions for season 4. So I won't ask them now, but
so hype about.
I've got so
wait.
many.
yeah. So yeah, those are our awards for this season. Congrats to all the winners, unless you won something really sad, in which case we are condolences.
Sorry, Dean.
Sorry, Dean and Bella and Gordon and Richie
And
most
Victor.
of the winners.
And Victor and Al and Corbett.
And the Kerrigans.
Wait a minute.
Actually, no condolences to the Kerrigans.
Yeah, no condolences to them.
Fuck the
Hold on.
Kerrigans, bro.
I
Sorry to
if you
those
will-
listeners out there whose last names are Kerrigan. That's my
if
bad.
you will indulge me, I would like to do a little bit of math really quick.
Of
Do
course,
some math.
I love doing math. I'm gonna end the fucking call right now.
I usually hate it, but
What's the math? Show your work.
okay, all right. It actually isn't as impressive. I thought it was going to be like 90% of our winners were dead by the end of the season, but it's a few more than I thought. Rufus is still alive. Ben's still alive.
How many winners are dead, though?
Um,
Though we should probably count Bobby as well, and even though he's a runner-up, because
only 6 of our winners are dead.
only 6.
Only six out of
Right, because Richie and Harry and Ed and the Trickster.
42% of our winners are dead.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, everyone.
It's not bad. Not bad. As a season overall, not a bad average. We've done worse. Okie dokie. Well, that wraps up our award ceremony for today. Now we can move right into our episode mixtape. Every week we pick a song from our personal playlist that we feel relates to this episode, really makes us connect. And so then we compile that all into one big playlist where you can hit shuffle and you'll go through all the episodes part by part, song by song, through the eyes of our hosts.
Yeah, we had fun making this. Every
So
genre
much.
represented.
So many.
It's all over the place, honestly. It's such
Yeah.
a varying mix, but we've got it all compiled and we've got it up on our website where everyone can listen to it.
So yeah, to find that, you can go to our website, which is queeringthingspodcast.com. Give us a listen. Let us know what you think.
If you have suggestions for next season, make sure to get them ready and send them to us when that episode comes out.
Yes, we would love to add your mixtape song to any episode that you think they fit in.
It would be so cool.
Tweet them at us.
Comment on TikTok,
We've also got a section on there for voicemails.
which we always love to get.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up the episode mixtape for the season, we're going to make some last minute additions. I've got Mood Swings by Scotty Sire, which really is just a lot of ups and downs in this season. And it really signifies, it really grasps that whole concept for the feel. I really thought that really made me connect with this season overall. Elayna, what have you got?
So this is the second time in my time on this show that I'm recommending a Johnny Cash song. But this one, it fits the vibes of this season, called Further On Up the Road. And it's just a very deeply sad song, but that's really good. And it's basically just about him singing about how everything's really bad, but I'll meet you further on up the road.
That's really sweet. That's a sweet one to have at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Mine is going to be a little bit of a mood swing, but I'm going with Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. Which, just to bring some levity to the end of this playlist, it's a banger. Also, I have a firmly held headcanon that Dean likes Queen, so I'm going with this song. Queer icon.
Another Winchester gone, another Winchester gone, another one bites the dust.
Queer icons listen to Queen. That is our episode mixtape. Give us a listen and
Check it out.
have fun. So So we are coming to the end of this episode, but we wanted to first give a little shout out to any of you who are listening. If you would like to contribute to our show as we go into season 4, as you know, every week we do blessings, we do episode mixtape, we talk about the theme of the episode, and we would love to include your thoughts. We have a place on our website where you can send in a voicemail if you would like to bless a character or give an insight into an episode that we are covering in the future, particularly season 4 episodes right now. We would love if you would send that. We would happily play that on the show. If you prefer to write something rather than type it, you can also just send us a message on our website, or you can tweet us, hit us up on TikTok, any of our socials. We would love to hear from you. We're really, really grateful that you are listening to our show and that you are a part of our community. And we would love to include your thoughts as we talk about one of, I think, Elayna and I's favorite season 4. And as Noah experiences it for the very first time.
We get to meet the gay angel. We're so close. We're so close.
Cass, just like come send us blessings for Cass.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is really about to become the cast, and I'm not sorry about it at all.
We're about to get a lot louder as a podcast, so it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment.
There's about to be a lot more queering things explicitly happening.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's that should be our motto for season 4. It's about to get gayer.
You thought it couldn't? Think again.
That is a great place for us to end, I think, today.
Fantastic. Thank you all for joining us for season 3. We're so excited to have you with us as we jump into season 4 of Saving People Queering Things. And just a little special shout out. I would like to say thank you to Abigail and Elayna and Sam. All 3 of y'all have been fantastic. It's been so lovely making this podcast together. And it's been revolutionary in my life. And I love it. I miss you guys. We should talk even more often.
I agree. And I'll add to that and just I'm really grateful. I think I talked about this last episode as well, but this is the end of a full season of working with both of you and Sam and just having this team. And I'm really, really grateful. I've had so much fun. Doing this is like a highlight of my week every week.
Honestly, you've been such an awesome, fearless leader. And Noah, we literally would not survive without your incredible editing skills.
Yes.
And your wonderful contributions. This podcast would not be the same without you.
We've all got our strengths and they all come out, complement each other, and we all just work together really well. And it's fantastic. Love it.
I really enjoy working with y'all and getting to interact with the supernatural community in this way has just been really revitalizing. Not to get sappy on Maine or anything, but I think I kind of talked about this at the end of last season, and I'm feeling it even more intensely now. I didn't know that I could still feel this way about fandom, and this show has brought so much joy and discussion and thoughtfulness back into my life, and I'm really grateful for all of that.
Yeah, thank you those of you who are listening. We couldn't make this show without you listening to it, and we are really grateful to be a part of a community of fans that cares about talking deeply about a story that we love, having fun together, and creating a safe fandom space. So thank you for being a part of creating that space, and we are so excited to keep doing that for another 11 seasons. 12 seasons.
Just getting started. Thank you all so much for listening, truly. But make sure you are subscribed to Saving People Queering Things wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And as we already said, you can find all of our social media on our website. You can also find a link to our Discord where we are having a ton of fun. We've just started using this Discord platform a lot more to share fandom things, talk about the episodes, make friends. So we'd love to see you on there.
See everybody's cats. That's my favorite part is we get to see everybody's pets. And that's the coolest. I love so
everyone's little kitties.
So everybody go join the Discord and send me pictures of your kittens and little baby puppies.
Any animals that you have.
I mean, all cats are kittens and all dogs are puppies.
I agree. Hard agree.
Come show us cute things from your life. We'd like to see.
Be sure to ride along with us next week as we finally meet the beloved gay angel in season 4, episode 1, Lazarus Rising.
That episode will be, as our season premieres always are, through the theme of family.
Thank you all for coming along for the ride, and we wish you a peaceful road until we meet again.